like an official teacher. Hold on, people that are live. I'm gonna go get my stick so I can point at stuff. Can you even see what's on the board? I don't even know. I'm gonna pin this so I can see what I look like when I'm full size here.
I can't make out the writing, but I can see some of it. Recovery, and that's about something from mental.
All right. Well, let me scoot these up a little bit. Boom. Chicka boom. I'm doing my best. I guess my handwriting needs to get a little bit bigger, doesn't it? Okay. Man. How about... Okay, now that looks a little bit straighter. I'm gonna have to work on this. And then this thing's right here. Oh well, it's good. Man, trying to be my own director, editor, producer. It's all crazy right now. And I don't have a stick to point at. Here we go. Alright. Oh, I actually meant to flip this around last time so that it wouldn't be like that. Hold on, I'm gonna flip this. And then it won't have to be backwards because you're looking at me forwards. Yay. All right. It's time to speak. Cheese. All right, gang. So this month, the thing to talk about was recovery. Last week we talked about, we focused on the physical recovery side of things, how to get the body recovered physically. Actually, that happened 2 weeks ago. No, that was last week. I missed a week 2 weeks ago, and last week I jumped on, and this week we're back on track. So we're going to focus on how to get the mind recovered, okay? Because, I mean, for real, we get burned out, you know? Sometimes we're like on the go, like doing lots of work. On top of doing work, we're handling family, friends, professional stuff, other things that we're doing. And in the process of that, we start to get this mental burnout. And it's not that our body's like all sore and beat up. We just kind of say, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to go, you know? So usually that's because we're mentally fatigued, mentally beat up, or we're depleted mentally. And I want to talk about the things that we can do to get your mental energy back up, all right? So let's talk about those things, okay? First of all, recovery, methods for mental strength, endurance, and determination. An energized brain, when a brain is energized and ready to go, it can focus very easily, okay? I don't know if you can read that or not very good, but I'm gonna move this computer up a little bit right now. Okay, there we go. And this camera, I'm going to scooch this up just a little bit in case these things are a little bit blurry for you. This makes it look like I'm tall because I'm going to be standing all up like... An energized brain is focused, okay? When we're not overly tired, overly fatigued, or beat up from doing too much, it's easy to focus. It's not like, ooh, butterfly, ooh, this, ooh, that, you know, like it's easy to focus on one thing. Okay? An energized brain can regulate emotions, okay? When you're tired, depleted, hungry, or whatever it is, we're more patient. We're more aware. We act or react in a controlled manner. And I'm going to go to the other side. When the plane is depleted, it's not focused, it's distracted easily. You probably figured that out after I talked about the first one. When a brain is depleted, it does not regulate emotions, we can react impulsively. It's a lot easier to react to something that usually would not upset you, frustrate you, or piss you off if you were actually relaxed, if you were energized, if you were in a state of equilibrium, alright? Not really beat up, like it's easier to show up home, have a bunch of shoes all over the floor that the kids could have or should have put on a shoe rack that was right there, and instead of getting frustrated or upset about it, when you're chill and your brain isn't overly depleted or beat up, no big deal. Hey, would you mind please picking your shoes up and putting them on the rack versus Hey, this is like the 100th time that we do this. Does this ever stop? You're in middle school. You're in high school. Come on. We've been there, right? But it's probably because you're stressed out from the day, or things went wrong, whatever, and we acted in a way that the kids or your friends, whoever it is, maybe they don't like. An energized brain notices connections, or it can pick up on, oh, I just realized or recognize this specific pattern about something. Okay? And I'll get in depth with that, okay? A tired brain loses the thread, or in other words, it doesn't pick up the connections. This is what I mean. When you're living in a chronic state of fatigue or anxiety or depleted mental energy or fog, we don't recognize things that like make us realize like, oh shoot, every time this happens, this happens. You know, we miss on patterns, okay? An example, a client I was working with talks to me about how they were eating clean, and one day they decided to have a cheat meal. And when they had that cheat meal, they were like, they realized the next day that they were a little bit edgy. Their stomach wasn't feeling good. They just weren't feeling good overall. So that person also told me, man, I realized that when I was just eating like crap all the time, I didn't notice that the food I was eating was making me tired, was making me sluggish, or was like messing with my energy levels. They didn't realize that, and it was happening for years, but then we go into a state of like eating better, exercising, and doing all these things. So they started like making connections and realizing, oh, when I eat like this, I feel like this. When I work out in the mornings and do this, my day goes like this. When I this, I that, and they start picking up patterns, connections, and not just for ourselves, but you start to notice other things, other people. Like we just start picking up things that we usually don't pick up when we're depleted or tired or stressed out. Okay, so that's what I mean by an energized brain notices connections, and a depleted brain loses the thread. You miss on the rhythm of what's going on. It'll pick up the patterns. Our brains love patterns. They do. They get used to them and they get stuck in them, or we recognize and dance to them. Get down, we do stuff, all right? Well, we're too tired, too beat up, and we're in this chronic phase of whatever it is. We just don't notice it, you know? An energized brain can predict outcomes. A depleted brain cannot see the implications. In other words, when you're sharp and you're aware, you can actually, you can more or less gauge what is going to come, what is going to happen, because you're just aware. And that kind of goes hand in hand with noticing connections and, you know, losing the thread versus cannot see the implication of a certain pattern being repeated over time, or you know, just things along those lines. An energized brain can make smart decisions, and a depleted brain makes unwise decisions. So, are we making intelligent choices with our nutrition? Are we making a good choice when, you know, whatever is coming up, okay? So, sometimes for us to make the best decisions, and now I'm tying this into our body transformation, into our health, into the wealth of our health transformation. Sometimes we got to do something to get our mind in an even keel state, to recognize all the things that are going on, and to have the mental energy, the mental endurance, the mental determination to make the best possible decisions. So sometimes we just need to take a little chill pill. And let's talk about how we can do that right now. Okay, so those are just some examples of an energized, a sharp brain that isn't tired or fatigued, that needs some kind of recovery from always working and working. So let's go into those right now, okay? Ways that we can do that. Take a break, okay? We all work a lot. We work a lot. So if you're working any kind of a schedule, that is a 9 to 5, 8 to 5 kind of gig, and you know you're going to be in a chair or in a place doing some kind of repetitive, monotonous work that's like back to back, every 45 to 60 minutes, stop. Just take a 3 to 5 minute break. Walk away from your desk. Walk away from that warehouse where you're working on stuff. Walk away from that kitchen and just You know, like do some warm-up movements, do something to just like get your brain reset from what you were doing. I like to kind of give it the equivalent of a laptop or a computer. Put it on standby. Shut it down, you know. Put it on reset. That little 3 to 5 minutes is all you need to get some movement, get some blood flowing, and then get your mind re-energized and come back to what you're doing, okay? You can go for a little walk around the office if there's a walking path, or walk around the building. For me, if I'm doing a lot of work here in the gym on my laptop or in my home office, I'll step outside, I'll go for a walk, you know. I'll go to my gym streams and I'll hang. I'll hang upside down. Something, just anything non-related to what we're doing to break the monotony of the pattern of what we're repeating, doing over and over, okay? Just some kind of a different stimulus. Preferably not on the phone. Social media addicts, let's break the addiction. All right, suggestion number 2 for a mental recharge recovery. A nap. Now I'm gonna really use the whole computer description here, okay? Shut it down, just like a computer. 20 to 30 minutes is all it takes, okay? And even if you don't fall asleep, just the fact that you lay there, you shut your eyes, and you focus on your breathing. And then get back up and go at it. If you have a schedule that has that kind of liberty allowed to it, take it. There's a reason in Latino culture why there is such thing as a siesta. It's not just because it's a cultural thing. It's something that we learn over time. It's a part of our history, our indigenous patterns, you know. We bust our butt off, we take a nap. We get up, we work, we play, we work the field, we hang out with each other. Then we take a nap, and then we go again, like a cat. Take a couple of cat naps throughout the day, and then hit it so that you're feeling good, okay? Everybody kind of has a different amount of time of what is the perfect nap. Some people need 10 minutes, some people need 20, 30. Find what's the right amount of time to get you rejuiced and get back at it. Number 3, meditation. Now, meditation comes in many forms. There's the yoga, little sitting there breathing, home. There's that one, right? To me, that is a passive meditation, one where your body's not moving and you're not trying to make your brain work because you're literally just sitting there like focusing on your breathing. Or if you practice a Western religion and meditation is something that's a little bit too hokey-pokey witchcraft for you, it's okay, pray. Bust out your rosary if you're a Catholic or a Protestant or one of those unorthodox, Greek Catholics, do your rosary, or a Christian, whatever you do, Muslim, Quran, I don't care. Meditate or pray. Pray on something, okay? And preferably nothing that's sad. Don't pray for the people that are dying. I don't know. So just try and make something that is feel-good prayers, okay? Another form of meditation that isn't a passive, just sit down and try not to think about stuff and just focus on breathing. Because again, the reason what we're talking about right now is giving the brain a break, which is why I like meditation versus prayer. Prayer involves a lot of words and stuff, but you can do whatever. Active meditation to me would be something like yoga or qigong, because you're not really speaking. You're copying, you're moving a flow, and instead it's an active meditation. You're moving, you just focus on your body and doing stuff, you know. So qigong and yoga, the reason I look at those as a way of giving your brain a little recharge, oftentimes the poses that you do, or the stances, the animal movements involved in qigong, like the monkey or the tiger, stuff like that, it makes your brain think about something that's way out of left field. You're not used to those things. They're so radically weird and different that your brain goes from thinking in this place of knowledge and common understanding all the time to a place of like, I don't get it. Well, what is this? So it actually, while your brain is working, it's something that is in another realm, and it's kind of recharging it in that way. So it's a new language, but it's a language that your body can replicate, but that your brain is having to get a new set of neurons built in to create or master that movement. So that in itself is like giving your brain a little bit of a recharge or a change up there. So, meditation. All right. Another form of giving that brain the recharge that it needs is connection. What do I mean by connection? We're trying to do something that is self-love, something that is going to reduce stress levels, bring us peace mentally. So I would say, and it might be hard to see here, connect with friends, connect with family, do volunteer service. What does connecting with a friend, family member, or volunteering do? It starts to create these feel-good hormones in our body. We start to create hormones. We produce chemicals in the body. It's like a natural high because you're doing something meaningful, spending meaningful time with somebody. And if it's a friend or a family member or a relative, probably having meaningful conversation, talking about memories that are good, talking about future experiences that are going to come. Hang out with your grandparent. If you're a grandparent, hang out with the grandkids. Whatever it is, be with people that you can have meaningful conversations, things that have to do with possibility, imagination, those kind of things, okay? Now, it might seem like that would be a time drain and stress you out because it costs time from precious work or whatever, but guess what? We all know that work is always going to effing be there. If I died, if Pedro Torres disappeared and I died, everybody here could go find another gym member, like another coach. I'm replaceable. You could find another coach. If Joan was not here, she's here on the Zoom call. I know some of you are live on Facebook. If she died, it would be hard to replace her because she does so much shit at her particular facility, but they would find another cook and they'd be like, hey, we can pay this one less. She hasn't been here that long. Replaced. But when we go, we cannot replace the time that we missed out spending time and making connections with people that are important and have important ideals or purposes that they want to work with you or other people in your community. So spend time and connect with somebody special to you in your life because the work is always going to be there. We can always come back to the work and get it done. But the people that are important in your life, your friends, your family, nothing can replace them. And then volunteering, well, you're doing something kind for somebody else and helping out. And that makes you feel good. And that alone can recharge your mind and brain. All right. And then one last one on connection. Connect with some kind of a task or an activity that brings you back to your childhood. Watch a movie that got you pumped up when you were a kid. Watch a movie or read a book or listen to music. Just think about something that when you were in elementary school or middle school and high school, think about a time in your life when you were young and it pumped you up, it got you excited. It takes you back to your first homecoming, that was cool. It takes you back to your first track and field game. It takes you back to, I don't know, Disney movies, whatever it is, like something that just takes you back to a time of imagination, where things weren't all set in stone, science and real, when maybe you still kind of believe in Santa Claus. I don't know. Just watch something or connect to something that takes you back when you were a little bit carefree, and see if that doesn't make your brain feel a little bit more alive. Why do y'all think I am the way I am? I still do things that are kind of kid-like. Yeah, I still play video games from time to time. Yeah, I watch Lord of the Rings. I watch Harry Potter. I watch things that are magical and mystical because it brings out a little bit of that inner child in me. It reminds me there's still a youth in here, and all of you. All right, the last one, number 5. Vacation, travel, or staycation. All right? I know we all like, oh man, I will never be able to do this, never be able to do that. We can and we have to, okay? Whether once a year, once every 6 months, once every 3 months. You gotta do something, okay? Our brain, kind of like your palate, because I know some of us like to eat as different as we can every day so we don't get bored of things. But our brain is so used to the patterns and the routes that we drive and the work that we do and the people that we see, it gets fatigued of the same thing. So feed your mind, feed your brain something unique by taking a vacation. Plan it. Think about a place that you've never been that you want to go to. It doesn't have to be far. It can even be within our own state. I have not been to Forks, the place where they made that movie, something, the Wolf and Vampire movie. I can't remember what it's called. But I'm going to the corner of Washington at the end of August, early September. I have never been there. It's in my home state yet. I have been to China. I have been to India. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to multiple continents. I've been kind of almost all around the world, almost. But I haven't been to that place that is a 7-hour drive in the corner of our state that's infamous in the world. And the Olympic National Rainforest is the only legit national rainforest in the USA because of how much rainfall. I've been there, but I haven't been to the very tip, so I'm going to go. Anyway, the whole point of traveling, going on vacation, is to get a different kind of stimulus in our mind so that whatever kind of things are going on here that are the same, boring, same old thing all the time, we get a chance to experience something new, something different. And that alone will create a different kind of chemical reaction within our mind. And obviously, everything that starts in our mind filters out through the rest of our body. So by getting that unique travel experience, vacationing, gives your brain a little bit of a recharge. Even though it takes energy and resources to get to where you're trying to go, it will revitalize you. It will. Now, I know that we cannot all live an extravagant life where we're traveling around the world, going on cruises and doing all that kind of stuff, but there is such thing as a staycation. And that's the last one right here on this list, okay? Staycation. Now, a staycation is basically a vacation where you shut down everything and anything that has to do with the normal routine. That includes the people that you see every day, sometimes even the people here in the gym, okay? I do that sometimes where I will be like, okay, I'm not going anywhere this weekend, but I'm not looking at my Facebook, I'm not looking at Instagram, and any kind of phone calls or any kind of text messages that come in from people, I'm not going to answer, I'm not going to reply. I'm just going to like do everything I'm doing. I'm going to do me, and I'm going to go to the local massage parlor here. I've never been to that restaurant there. I've never gone there, you know, so I just somehow find something local that you've never been to or done. And you explore a little hidden corner of our own Tri-Cities here, or someplace that is a 30-minute, 45-minute drive out, you know, a local staycation. Spend a couple days. Go camping at one of the local parks here. I know it's not the same as going camping in the mountains, but we can go rent a little spot, set up shop, and go camping at Hood Park or Charbonneau Park somewhere, you know. Again, you don't have to make it crazy, make it local. Again, it's just a little minor change up, okay? So, again, those are the top 5 ways that I would like to recommend and share with you that I do for myself to get a checkup from the neck up and recover the mind, okay? So, there you have it, my friends. I'm going to come back next week and we're going to tie in everything that has to do with recovery that we talked about on the physical side of things, how to recover the body physically. And I'm going to add a couple of other tidbits that I didn't give you last time. And we're going to connect how all of that coincides with the things that we talked about here for the mental recharge, recovery of the mind, and how physical connects, okay? So we're going to bring it all together next week. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas for things that you would like to see me talk about in the next live coaching session, shoot me a message, drop it on the comment box here, or let me know. All right, everybody, this is Coach Pedro, and since nobody jumped in on Zoom, I can't take any Q&A because on Facebook, you can't really talk to me. You can like and you can shoot a message, but I'm not looking at the phone right now, so I can't. All right, everybody, that's a wrap. Thank you for coming. Have a fabulous day, and don't forget, take a break, take a nap, meditate, connect, vacate. Do it all. Get it right. I'll see y'all later.
Thank you, Pedro.
You're welcome. Twilight. Thank you, Lucia. If I had this thing flipped the other way, I would have known that it was Twilight. Yes, that's the movie I was talking about. All right, finishing this one up. See y'all later. Thanks for coming.